In A Quiet Place Day One, we have gone back to the beginning of what happened before the creatures invaded the Earth.
In Day One, we explore similar themes to the beginning of the second film, where we watch the Abbott family negotiate this invasion. Except this time, we're set in an urban environment in New York City.
It's a completely different perspective, a different environment, a different setting, and this one is so much more devastating to witness.
We meet Samira, who is on a day trip to New York when they arrive. And she has to adjust to this new world. And on the way, she meets Eric, a perfect stranger, who she has to figure out how to survive with.
Trying to be quiet in New York City is no easy thing. An entire city of people figuring out the rules for themselves.
If we stay here, we die.
The world is coming to an end, and how does one best manage the emotional roller coaster?
It feels very surreal because New York is so quiet. It feels very ominous, and you just think about survival.
It's perilous, it's fastly paced, and it's extremely quiet.
Well, whenever anyone asks me, like, what's the one movie you want to do? If there was one, I'd always say it'd be Wicked.
On my 25th birthday, I took myself to see the show. I'd never heard anything or seen anything like it. I remember that. It was like a rainy night, and I felt really alive. I felt like I was floating on air.
I had the incredible privilege of seeing the original Broadway cast of Wicked when I was 10, and I just felt an immediate bond.
I'm sure that you have dreamed of playing one of the two roles. Would you be Elphaba or Glinda? You'd be Glinda.
For sure.
It had a very personal effect on me. This is a very cinematic show. This should be on the big screen.
There's sort of this innate understanding of what it feels like to be someone who's different.
It's always been the thing that I listen to when I'm nervous, when I'm needing an escape, when I need comfort.
Wait a minute.
I went in for my first audition, and I just remember being, like, buzzing.
And when she came in, she was an Ari that I'd never seen before.
And then I got the call to come in.
Cynthia was so raw and vulnerable. And I couldn't get her out of my head.
The world needs to see more of you. We would love for you to be our Elphaba.
It's been a really long journey, and I'm really grateful for it. I never thought in my lifetime that I would get to be a part of something like this.
We want you to be our Glinda the Good.
I want people to see Wicked and experience it in a way they've never experienced it before. I want them to feel what I felt going into that theater for the first time. I want to make them laugh, to make them sing, to make them feel that after they've watched it, they've been changed for good.
How would you like to see the city of Detroit like you've never seen it before? Hi, I'm Greg Russell of Russell Brothers City Tours. Come on, let's get on board and take a tour of the city of Detroit. What's the difference between our company as compared to other tour companies? Well, one thing that we like to do is show you stuff that we're pretty sure you probably never have seen or heard of. Just give us a call, 313-399-0683, or go to our website, Russell Brothers City Tours, or on all social media. Come on, we'd love to take you for a ride.
Kevin, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
was going to say, always greetings from Detroit. You're one of our favorite people there. I think also because you played a Detroit Tiger twice in a movie, so
Yeah.
you're always welcome and always loved there. And I know that they're going to enjoy this movie. Now, you're the director, one of the writers, one of the stars. How did this whole idea of this Horizon come about?
I don't know. You don't have to think about what I make for people. This thing that we have, a relationship between myself and an audience, is what are you gonna bring? You know, what is it? It's Christmas. It's like I want to be surprised, and so I kind of roll that into my thinking, and then I try to please myself. Where do I want to go? Where I feel like something can live forever, because that's what's important. Movies aren't just their opening weekend. You know, it's not just June 28th. It's June 28th, 10 years from now, and you go, let's sit down and watch a movie that means something to me. I want Horizon to be that kind of movie that can be shared, will be shared.
Right, and also it's one of those where, you know, nowadays people are making more and more movies more realistic, if you know what I mean, as compared to like Westerns when we were growing up that were somewhat glossy and different things
silly.
like that.
And the people weren't dressed authentically.
Right.
The realities weren't right. The clothes weren't right. The dialogue wasn't right. Bad guys were just conveniences for good guys to knock down. Bad guys are formidable, and you have to deal with them. They should scare you. They're different than us. And this Western deals with it. But really what Horizon deals with are women. Women are the strong point. They're the backbone of the story. So, you know, for me, the success of it is a woman saying, I want my daughter to see it. Somebody say, well, that's a little violent. I go, she needs to see it. I want her to understand what her great-great-grandmothers went through. Same with the man. No, it's a little bit violent. No, it's not. I want him to see what life is like when there was no law, when there was no one to arbitrate your problems, no street lights, no anything. And if someone wanted what you had, how would you deal with that? It's a very complicated time in our history.
No, that it was. And like you said, we were even talking about it last night. When you watch this, you think about, of course, today, we've got our phones, we've got everything else. Back then, like you said, it was all everything they had here that they needed to exist.
And they weren't going back. You know, what happened is we can cross the country now out of O'Hare and get to LA and you have a little meal, maybe a little bit of a nap, right?
Right.
But then when you said goodbye, it was goodbye. You weren't coming back. And now you're in a hostile environment and you claw life out of it. Mm-hmm. Better for your children. They do the same for their children. That's what Westerns can be. When they're silly, I don't care for them.
Right. And obviously this is a saga. I mean, it's going to continue. You've set up the stories. I mean, there are several different stories going on in this where now we really want to go back and watch and see what happens. See what comes about.
I want people to. I want these people's lives all woven together, and you'll see how it comes together. And it doesn't always work out for everyone, just like life.
Right, and tremendous cast in this. I mean, I normally do my cheat sheet and pull out my phone, but there are just so many names of so many different people. What was that? You called up all the, kind of like this great wish list.
Well, no, there's a lot of unknowns working out there too, and there's other people that are just emerging. When you think of Ella Hunt and Abby Lee and Sienna Miller is dominating, and Jenna Malone, Isabel Furman. The performances in Horizon are women-oriented. Even though it's a movie moving towards action and gunplay, it's really the strength of the women. You know, just a scene about a woman wanting to bathe is not what you'd normally find in a Western, and the consequences of doing it, what it kind of unleashes.
Right, and like you said, I mean, just so many different things that you see going on, and you think, okay, yeah, this is the way it was back then, you know, as far as men being aggressive sometimes.
If you go those extra 5, 6, 7 lines, as opposed to going, look, let's protect our water. So what? Okay, everybody, let's protect our water. Why? Because when we have to divide it up, if you haven't protected it, chances are you're not getting any. And that happened a million times out there.
Right, I do remember that line, and yeah, you're right. It's like, hey, if you're not going to do it, it's taken away. So sorry about that. But Kevin, thank you so much for your time.
Welcome.
Enjoyed this. Look forward to seeing all the rest of it and see what comes about.
Good. Well, it's a summer full, so I hope you catch both of them. You'll only understand 2 if you see 1.
Right. So I'll catch them all.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. My fellow Detroiter, Axel Foley?
Yeah, Axel Foley, this fellow Detroiter. You know, a lot of people ask me, am I from Detroit?
Oh, yeah?
You from Detroit, right? And I'm like, no, that's Axel Foley's from Detroit. But you Axel Foley.
And he went to Milford High School,
Yeah.
which is where my brother went. So all the Mustangs say hello to you.
Wow.
Now, could you imagine 40 years ago doing the first one, if somebody said, guess what, in 40 years from now, we'll be doing another brand new Beverly Hills Cop movie?
No, not at all, because I was 21 when I started making this movie. So if they would have said, 40 years from now, I'd have been like, so when I'm 60, I'm going to be doing, come on, man. A 60-year-old cop running around solving crimes and jumping around. Yeah, right. Then here we are.
And still looking good. I mean, jumping and all like that.
Yeah, not quite as spry as I was back then. Back then, in the original Beverly Hills Cop, there's actually a shot of me in a truck, and I fly out the truck, and I'm on the chain. If I did like that now, I'd be on CNN. Well, Eddie Murphy shot out of the back of the truck today.
I think the audience really identifies with our character because they know we're friends, but friends don't always get along. No. So we have our arguments and our disputes, but we still love each other and we're still friends.
You haven't let that go?
What's that?
No, I know what he's talking about.
Oh, do tell, do tell. Can you?
I'm just kidding.
No, he wasn't. No, but...
But you know,
I do.
I mean, the friends.
No, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Well,
I thought you let that go.
We have arguments sometimes.
You told me you let it go.
No, I'm not going to let it go. We do have arguments every now and then.
So, what's it like now being a part of the Beverly Hills Cop family?
I mean, I remember watching Beverly Hills Cop when I was a little kid, like probably too young to be watching it. But my older brother was a huge Eddie Murphy fan. So getting to be a part of it now and play Eddie's new sidekick, it's a real, I'm so excited.
How about for you, Kevin? I mean, again, another great franchise.
Yeah, and I don't get the opportunity to be one of the new guys very often at this age. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So yeah, fantastic, and certainly working with Eddie is like a bucket list type thing. Our paths have never crossed. In all these years, and yeah, I love. I think that the character. Is interesting, I think he's got some stuff that he's carrying around. Clearly,
when you were growing up, you loved watching movies,
right?
As a kid, and you always went to this theater in your neighborhood. What does this photo mean to you?
Boy, that's it. You got it. That's fantastic. That's where I went to all my movies.
Oh wow, amazing!
Growing up,
amazing.
Yep, the Mercury.
Is it still there?
No, they tore it down a few years ago.
I said it was 7 Mile in Livernois, right?
Yeah,
somewhere around Livernois or Wyoming. I'm not sure.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was down the street from Mumford.
Yeah.
High school.
Right.
I almost admire you. Still on these streets, running and cutting. I'm just amazed. Doesn't get to you.
Watch your ass out there, okay?
I'm gonna be fine. They love me in Beverly Hills.
Detective Foley, you ever read your own files? Shootouts, start of the piece, a lot.
Please tell me you didn't get arrested again.
Twice, but I broke out.
We put our lives on the line every day. And for what?
Comes with the job if you're doing it right.
Yeah, babe!
Axel.
So how many people have you pissed off so far?
I haven't pissed off anybody.
Yeah,
50-50.
50-50.
Is it that high?
So far.
Wow.
What's that for?
Said no hitting below the bell.
Come on, put that back in. Now remember, we're gonna give him the old 1-2. Open your mouth. What's that for? That's so if you hit us, he won't knock our teeth out. Knock our teeth out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Hope. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Suspense.
But my agent told me, don't worry about not winning this time. Remember, you're still young. It's a good thing about having a 90-year-old agent.
I've always wanted to ride with you, Logan. Deadpool and a Wolverine. Can you imagine the fun? The chaos?
You mind putting your mask back on?
Super hard to eat while I'm wearing it.
It's super hard to eat when you're not.
I'm about to lose everything that I've ever cared about. Our entire world needs you. Huh. Paul Rudd finally aged.
Shut up.
Oh my God. Us? A team? The answer is yes. Shake on it. Ah, you nicked it. Just got the tip with your little steak knife.
Rated R.
Once-in-a-generation tornado outbreak continues across Oklahoma.
We've never seen tornadoes like this before, and we need your help.
No, I don't chase anymore.
Kate, we can save lives.
I'll give you 1 week.
All right, fellas. We got PhDs from NASA, FEMA, and Kate. She's the smartest person I know.
Hey, dudes. This is interesting. Who are they?
It's Tyler Owens. Calls himself a tornado wrangler. If you feel it!
You're scared of nothing and I'm scared to death.
You know, our crew is not like your crew.
I can't breathe and I catch my breath.
We don't need PhDs and fancy tech. Sometimes the old ways are better than the new.
Well, you can always trust a guy who puts his face on a t-shirt.
Are those fireworks?
Yes, ma'am. You got quite the reputation, city girl. You think you can disrupt a tornado?
In theory.
But in the field, in the moment, I got it wrong. We never had a chance.
You want one?
Are you seeing this?
We got twins! Twins!
They're combining. Go faster.
Let's ride. It's all right to be scared. Fear's the reason you do it. You don't face your fears, you ride them.
Holy.
You ever see anything like this?
Not like this.
Hold on, hold on, hold on!
MAXXXINE. You're quite a popular name in adult entertainment, is that correct? Did you always want to be in that line of work?
I always wanted to be famous.
Name 5 celebrities who got their start in horror movies.
Jamie Lee Curtis, John Travolta, Demi Moore, and
Maxine Minx.
The Night Stalkers.
Terrorizing Los Angeles.
I can handle myself. So said every bad girl in Hollywood.
Maxine, I'm the private detective. I had to find you. The past ain't finished with you.
What are you hiding, Maxine?
If I tell you something, we've got confidentiality.
What'd you do?
Maxine.
You're a movie star.
In cinemas July 5.
How would you like to see the city of Detroit like you've never seen it before? Hi, I'm Greg Russell of Russell Brothers City Tours. Come on, let's get on board and take a tour of the city of Detroit. What's the difference between our company as compared to other tour companies? Well, one thing that we like to do is show you stuff that we're pretty sure you probably never have seen or heard of. Just give us a call, 313-399-0683, or go to our website, Russell Brothers City Tours, or on all social media. Come on, we'd love to take you for a ride.
Every movie that Bob and I make together, like Castaway, Polar Express, and Forrest, it's incredibly exciting because we have a magnificent shorthand.
Hello, Forrest.
Hello, Jenny.
Bob reached out to me last year and said, we're getting the band back together. Come on, I think it's time. This is one of the most original pieces of content I've ever read. You're not only going through the different generations of a family, through many time periods, you've got incredible visuals that are gonna happen in between each scene.
His mission is to try to figure out something that no one else is able to dream up in the first place.
Okay, here we go, kids.
Hey, Dad, I'd like you to meet Margaret.
Nice to meet you, Margaret.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Young.
This movie here is a lot of stories that are happening on the same place on Earth that we get to see through the lens of time.
To better times.
3,
Better times.
1.
There's a core story, and that's the Tom and Robin story. We follow these characters being children
Ricky, sit down, honey.
all the way to them aging.
You're not going out dressed like that.
We're at the right place at the right time making this movie. There's a huge library of images of Tom Hanks and Robin Wright at different ages, and we can process it and basically put it on like makeup.
You could spend the rest of the night here.
For instance, taking from an interview that I did when I was 19, 20 years old, and they're adding it onto me.
I could spend the rest of my life here.
Man, oh man, it was extraordinarily unique. It's going to be incredibly impactful. Time sure flies, doesn't it?
It sure does. It's showing the truth and the heart and the struggles that life is.
Now wait right there. And it's stunning. And that's the thing that happens here. The perfect name for this movie.
You wanted to be here.
Right here.
The milk's here.
Take a seat right here.
I'm going to miss being here.
I'm here.
I'm glad you're here. This was our home. We lived here.
I gotta go.
You're not going for another 10 years, are you?
I have such a respect for my father as an actor. I mean, not only is he, I believe, one of the most prolific actors in the English language, but I think he's made such an incredible impact.
Do you love me? Do you really love me?
And when you take a look at the diversity of his films, from Bertolucci's 1900 to MASH to Ordinary People, 6 Degrees of Separation, I mean, the list is endless.
I've been watching you. And you watching me. Acting is the best job in the world. Acting's like having a lover who's the most sensational lover in the world, and suddenly the phone rings and you pick it up and it's her and she says, come get me. So you want to go. Oh, what a treat.
Growing up, Kiefer was unaware of his dad's prolific work, but in 2013, he got a lifelong wish granted. The father and son got to work together in the Western Forsaken.
In every regard, this was one of the great experiences of my life.
Is that an invitation, Pop? Come back here! It was quite, for me, quite stunning.
Donald worked with many of the greats because he himself was a great. Nicole Kidman in The Undoing, Brad Pitt in Ad Astra, Jennifer Lawrence in The Hunger Games. But it was his role in the star-studded The Dirty Dozen that launched his career.
I once said that if I wasn't successful by the time I was 30,
I would stop. And when I was 30, I said, well, 31, and it went on. About 32, somebody gave me the Dirty Dozen, and I've just been very fortunate and lucky.
In addition to his 2 Golden Globes and 1 Emmy win, an honorary Academy Award in 2017 capped off an amazing career.
I don't deserve this. But I have arthritis, and I don't deserve that either. Thank you.
I have been terribly fortunate, and things that I have wanted to achieve at any given moment, I have been able to achieve, and I'm very grateful and very, very happy.
Check out MovieShowPlus.com to watch this episode online, and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.